After nearly 2 years, the Tower of Fantasy finally remembered that there was still a whole dove that had not been buried. In the latest version of Marshville plot, Shirley's image fluctuated when the Tower of Fantasy started. After 10,000 times slow playback, finally got a big-eyed and cute white-haired girl. That's right, she is Nemesis during the Cataclysm. Why did Xiao Fang mention her? Because have you ever thought about a question? In the plot of Vesperia, why did the Sage catch Shirley? In the layout of the third time retracement, the most important step is to get Shirley. After obtaining Shirley, the plans of the heirs of Ida began to unfold in sequence. But if you look back at the plot, you will find that since Zeke left with Shirley, we embarked on the journey of finding siblings. Shirley after reunion in Cetus Island. Shirley was met in a coma on a broken ship and was taken away by the Sage. Finally, we went to the Snow Mountain and found Shirley with Zeke. It can be said that since a buried Shirley, mostly in a coma state. What on earth is the Sage catching her for? Is it just to create a perfect work? What's more interesting is that, after transformation, Shirley did not obey him. She herself also fought the army of the heirs of Ida. Finally, she joined hands with the Executor to kill a clone of the Sage. It is proper for the Sage to make himself the strongest enemy. But that's not the case. Shirley said, "It seems that it is a hall, in the middle of which there is a machine." I also heard the voice of strangers. Many people, as long as I get close to the machine, those voices will ring in my mind. They want me to. Actually, back in the time of Vesperia, it portrayed the importance of Shirley, or Nemesis. The Sage always needs the authorization of Nemesis. Want to go back to time retracement? Omnium Reactor and Time Space Engine are not enough. To activate these, authorization is required. In the latest plot, Brevi mentioned the importance of authorization. Since the space-time anchor adaptive of Omnium Reactor is irreversible, it needs to be activated by Jest Hose when the reactor is first started. But she thought that only Jest Hose had the function of authorization. Even Archon Elric, the executive officer of the District 9, told Jest Hose. Surprised by the ability of others to authorize who, what, with such ability. He quickly sent people to Domain 9 to investigate. You go to Domain 9 to investigate. But in this process, there was one person who wasn't surprised at all. That's the Sage. The third time retracement early in the Asperia continent. He has already used the authorization function of Nemesis. That's also why after his failure, the reason why Shirley has been allowed to go out. Even I think he already knew where Zeke was. After the underwater battle is over, Frigga once said this sentence. It's not just Vera. So where else is there? The Sage may have more information than we do. Let's rewind the time again. When we return to the battle of Hyjad Tower of Fantasy. When Valkyrie is flirting with the Executor on the big screen. She received a communication from the Angle of Clemency. Hey, number 1, you'd better come here quickly. Our place is much more fun than the tower. Isis said this place is much more fun than the tower. That means they are no longer in Tower of Fantasy. However, Frigga clearly stated the fourth plane, the Space Rift. The Space Rift to the fourth plane has been opened, and Lord the Sage ordered us to evacuate at once. The Sage told them to retreat. Suppose we call Asperia the first plane. Vera is the second plane. Domain 9 is the third plane. So who is the fourth plane is self-evident. The layout of the heirs of Ida is obviously farther than we thought. Let's go back and deduce why the son of the heirs of Ida supports the submarine battle. Not only to jointly deal with Grey Space Entity. More importantly, ensure that Nemesis can successfully reach the Domain 9. If Hykros wants to recall the lost continent, it is a bureau to continue the research of Omnium Energy. Then Nemesis is a dark sun planted by the Sage. It's a presence with authorization capabilities that even Evans didn't know about. But there is someone who exists but knows about her. That's Jest Hose, the supercomputer in Hykros' headquarters. In Shirley's dream, Nemesis's experience appeared. During the Cataclysm 50 years ago, Nemesis once met Jest Hose. Then there was a major defeat and imprisonment. This scene was probably noticed by the Sage at that time. So he collected the remains of Nemesis. And waited until Shirley, the perfect container, appeared. Or Shirley herself is a container cultivated by the heirs of Ida. Just waiting for her to grow to her best. The suspicion here is not unfounded. Let's go back to the time of death of Zeke's parents. When Hykros found Zeke's father Hank. After the heirs of Ida's son, Hank chose to shoot himself. And his wife also chose to commit suicide. The couple never thought about how to keep Zeke's brother and sister alive. This is also the reason why Zeke doesn't forgive his parents. But what if the brother and sister were the experimental animals nurtured by the heirs of Ida from childhood? Shirley is the most perfect container of Nemesis. And Zeke can face the bomb without serious injury. Lost in the chaos of time and space, it's just a loss of memory. He can still become the head of a state in another place. As we all know, Zeke hates the heirs of Ida and Hykros. He couldn't have served these two forces before. Since his parents died, he took his sister to the Astra shelter. Until the Executor appears, he couldn't have undergone any renovations in it. But his strength is far from exceptional. So there's only one explanation. Long before he left Ada's son with Shirley, he has already undergone transformation. The brother and sister thought that to Astra was to escape from the Devil's Claws. Little did they know that everything was just a part of the plan. The Sage sent people to guard Astra, waiting for their growth. If the plan goes smoothly. When he learned that we were the executors of Hykros, It is also that Shirley have aberrated because of us. As a result, Zeke will become a capable person of the heirs of Ida. Shirley will be lied about as a failure of transformation. Become a real nemesis. But the accident on Cetus Island destroyed all this. We have to mention one person on Cetus Island. That's Frigga. Frigga in everyone's impression. It should be unconditional obedience to the sage. But that's not the case. There is an introduction to her experience in her personal profile. On the day of the cataclysm, she was having lunch with her family. The sudden disaster destroyed everything. The dying woman was saved by the sage. It can be said that cataclysm took everything from Frigga. And she's also secretly investigating something. Do you remember Evan saying that? Is the cataclysm caused by someone tampering with data? There is also a record in the Frigga archives. That's operator number 968. She's been investigating his existence all along. She is also looking for the truth of the cataclysm. And these investigations don't even know the sage. Regarding number 968, there are only two people worth suspecting. Or rather, two forces. One is Carl, the former executive of Hypros. He tried to master the power of Omnium energy, achieving immortality, if he tampered with it. It must be for a more crazy plan. The other is the leader of the heirs of Ida, the sage. If life is only limited to form, it's too shallow. The sage is also persistent to eternal life. Do you still think that Frigga is completely loyal to the sage? Once it is discovered that it is the sage who caused the cataclysm, Frigga was definitely the first person to switch sides. Perhaps that's why in the plot. The reason why it feels like Frigga has been very contradictory to us all along. I felt very strange on Cetus Island. The sage wants Nemesis. Why did Frigga help Zeke wake up Shirley? If she's really loyal, shouldn't it be just wiping out Sally's consciousness? The plot of the Tower of Fantasy may be much more interesting than you imagine. Don't the sage know this? He knows it all. Valkyrie doesn't listen to orders. Frigga did a little trick. Isis only enjoys killing and destruction. Seal is a little childish because of the transformation. That's why you discovered the activation of the third retrospective. It was the sage. This is also quite explosive among the villains. His subordinates retreat first. Boss wraps it up. Although it's just a clone. It's still outrageous. Lord the Sage's order is to evacuate at once. As long as his subordinates give him some awesome. The sage, why should he be down here? Okay, there's a bit more unfolding. Let's continue back to the plot. After receiving Greevy's communication, we arrived at Infinite Sundial without stopping. Just in time for Tower of Fantasy failed to start. Greevy is still looking for the cause of the fault. Note that the malfunction here is really malfunctioning. Before this incident happened, Evans's communication has come across time and space. I hope you can understand what this means. This is the first Tower of Fantasy activated after the cataclysm. So communication is no problem. The problem is the authorization of Omnium Reactor. But Omnium Reactor can be seen directly. So if it's not activated, it's not activated. And from the reaction of Nemesis. At this time, she can also talk to Greevy. There was no phenomenon of being taken away. If there is no problem in other operations, could it be the Omnium Reactor itself? So send my reasoning to Evans. Is it possible to cut Greevy's activity funds? It's also at this time. Only then did we know the startup of each Omnium Reactor. All require authorization. It also needs authorization from Gestos. It's true that Omnium energy is an alien technology. Whether it's an Omnium Reactor or a timing system. They're all for extraterrestrial civilizations. Any human being who can understand some principles. I also feel like they've worked hard. Then Greevy tried again and again. Finally, the activated progress bar is starting to move. Attention, all previous communications were normal. Suddenly, the progress bar got stuck. Let's hear what Evans said. It's confirmed that the process did not stop when communication was abnormal on the way. I have reason to believe the reactor was briefly taken over. That's right, this is where the communication is abnormal. It's also the time for Nemesis to start. But what she did is still unknown. Then the progress bar started moving again. Until activation is successful. That is to say, during this period. There may be two situations for Omnium Reactor. One is being authorized twice. Nemesis authorized the communication when it was abnormal. After the communication was restored, it was authorized by Gestos. This is in line with the plot of a brief takeover. The other is that Nemesis preempted the authorization. Nemesis took over the reactor when the communication was abnormal. Nemesis made the subsequent progress bar until it was activated. But the consequence is that Hypros is very unreliable. After learning that the Infinite Sundial was not activated by oneself, unexpectedly, they just sent someone to investigate. And there was no emergency stop to the operation of the Infinite Sundial. This is extremely irresponsible. Infinite Sundial has an accident, and the whole Domain 9 has to be buried with it. Therefore, Xiaofeng is more inclined towards the first guess. That is, both Nemesis and Gestos have authorized the reactor. It's equivalent to Nemesis leaving a back door. It also makes me wonder why Nemesis appeared 50 years ago. The Tower of Fantasy was activated long before the Great Cataclysm. It means that Gestos has the ability to authorize. Nemesis also has the ability to authorize. Is she here to stop Gestos? It sounds like Gestos is a rebellious genius of the family. Then help people build Tower of Fantasy. And there are people in the tribe who oppose helping humanity. So Nemesis was sent to stop him. But she was defeated and imprisoned. Finally, she was saved by the sage. Then being hidden till now to rebuild with Shirley. A proper cultivation drama. By the way, the executor of the Evans faction. We will meet soon. This should be a limited up for airborne operations, right? The Tower of Fantasy is activated, and the Infinite Sundial is reborn. Next, it's time to deal with darkness. Ling Han can't wait to crusade Black Jade Ruins. So she can find Nanine. But MS, why you did not support her immediately? I hope MS, why you will allow me dash yes, but the Black Jade Ruins in Marshville are very special. A little carelessness will lead to serious consequences. Ji-yu and Nanin are sisters. In the previous video, Xiaofeng also speculated that their ideas are incompatible. So what does why you think of Nanin's rebellion? For this reason, Xiaofeng found that when she first arrived at Domain 9, Ji-yu's comment on Nanin, the leader of the enemy who appeared in the fight just now, chose the darkness side. She is undoubtedly a traitor from Domain 9. Domain 9 can never forgive her for what she has done. We will use all means to stop her action and minimize the damage she has caused. Nanin's means are unpredictable, and it is safest to use the strength of many people to deal with it together. Although Ms.Yu looks pale, but Heninlon volunteered to win a more secure tomorrow in Domain 9. This risk is worth taking. The leaders of both states speak at the same time. Even though Ms. Yu can't resist, she can only agree. Shirley and the executors were also included in the crusade. Executive, Miss Shirley, I hope you can join in and help them. How can I feel that Ji-yu's understanding of darkness is more than that? When evaluating Nanin, she said that Nanin chose the darkness side. And it's the enemy leader. It can be seen that she regards darkness and human beings as equal rivals, instead of treating it like a monster. Ms.Yu obviously knows more secrets than we do. After that, Ling Han specially thanked us. Afterwards, she went to find Yan Yao to learn from her. The relic model here has already been analyzed in the previous video. I won't go into further detail. The time of Yan Yao narration, also analyzed earlier. Let's talk about Master Luo's problem. Upon learning that the ruins of Su County are in great danger, after narrow escape from death, after repeating discussions with the 4 main officials, led the elite domain guards to explore the ruins. Do you feel that this sentence is very strange? Gather all the senior management of Domain 9. Go to the most dangerous place. And as expected, the group went extinct. What's the difference between jumping into a trap with a teammate? And they all went in anyway. At that time, the repeated meetings were all aimed at persuading the incoming head of the 4th guard, right? The only person who didn't participate in the plan was Ji-yu, who stayed. Later, Ji-yu promoted the whole leadership of Domain 9. Speaking of which, there was also an accident. If Lan doesn't come back from Vera, the successor to Zhu Ke will be Fize. Without the rise of Mimi, then Azure Dragon will become a puppet. There are clear candidates for the White Tiger position. Only Xuanwu was captured by Ming Jing from across the border. If there weren't so many accidents, who will the new 4 elephants be? Finally, the crusade against darkness, Quesavita. This has been analyzed in the previous analysis. By now, the story of Marshville has been fully interpreted. If you don't understand, you can take a look at all 3 videos. In addition, Xiaofeng has reorganized the entire storyline of the Tower of Fantasy. Added PV content and eggs. Cute new players who like the plot or old players who want to review the plot. Welcome to follow up. Okay, that's all for this issue. Follow Xiaofeng to experience a different Tower of Fantasy.